Welcome to your energy update with the angels. I'm Devon Duerr, angel intuitive and spiritual teacher. The overall energy right now is asking you to look to see where you have too much going on in your life and where could you add a more playful approach. We're going to dive deeper into these angel messages in just a moment, but I'd like to offer you a pocket affirmation to affirm this guidance. Remember, this guidance is meant for you anytime you come across it, but can be very powerful to affirm it. So please, I invite you to write in the comments below the following pocket affirmation customized to this guidance. I deserve playtime in my life. I deserve playtime in my life. Write that in the comments below, and then here's why. Let's go deeper into these angel messages. Like I said, I do always say a prayer protection to ensure that these messages reach you when it's high in your highest interest. So these are evergreen messages. Anytime you listen to them now, a year from now, 3 years from now. But there is customized guidance here for you at the time you hear it, and customized pocket affirmations. So we will have 2 more. And the reason I asked you to talk about deserving playtime is because the image I got when I was connecting with the angels for this guidance for you was that there is some area in your life where you're pushing too hard. There's something you're trying to force to happen. You know that old saying about trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Where is that for you in your life? Now, if you don't know where that is, I'm going to remind you about the 3 areas of your life the angels always want to see you bring into balance. That would be relationships. This could be romantic, children, parents, bosses. That would also be finances or material resources. So your budgeting, the way you spend your energy, and then also your health and fitness. So do you need to add something to your fitness routine? Do you need to change something up? Is it getting to be too much? Or do you need to seek a different health practitioner or pay a little bit more attention to your health? Those 3 areas, there's something that angels are saying, take a more playful approach. So again, they're showing me this idea that maybe you are really hard on yourself about your workout routines and you need to find something more fun to do to get that exercise. Or you're not taking the time to exercise because you dread it. So try something new. Do something you've never done before that you've always wanted to do. The other thing they're showing me is an image of somebody sitting down with a coloring book. Now, I know for a while there, it's been a few years, but those adult coloring books got really popular for a while. And I encourage you, if you haven't tried that before, to look into it. You can print like an adult picture coloring book picture off the internet. You know where I'm going here. They're not adult. Just a playful one that isn't just super silly and easy. You can print those offline. Sit down with your favorite colors and just listen to some nice music and color. It can be very soothing. In fact, it is actually a form of meditation because it's a single focal point. So if you are focusing on doing that and just relaxing, maybe putting on a favorite podcast or movie, or just sitting with your friends, that's even better. Sit with your friends and have some iced tea or something to do this coloring book with. That could be really playful as well. Again, another example might be maybe you do want to have more time with your kids. So maybe you're sitting down and coloring together, but you pick the picture you want to color and they can pick the one they want. All right, so that's the very first message coming through for all of you. Let's go on to the next message. They see the way you've been very challenged right now to deal with any kind of pause in action. So that could also be where you're trying to force something too much. Maybe you're going, okay, I planted these seeds. The ground is fertile. I've put so much love into this and it's been so much nurturing, but nothing is moving. And the angels want you to know that any worry you have about these seeds you have planted with a relationship, with an area in your life, maybe a creative project, they are well planted. And you can't hurry it up. So you need to make sure that you're doing other things to distract you, and taking a more playful approach might be that very answer. A lot of times when we put our attention onto something else, that's when the information comes through that we need. So if you're sitting around waiting for that job offer to come through, you're sitting around waiting for that phone call, for that invitation to come through, go do something fun, get outside and play, do something with your animals or your kids, get that coloring book out. Do something to get your mind off of it so you're not worrying, because a lot of times worry is the thing that's blocking us. But the angels do see how you feel challenged to just trust in that. You're going, hey, I've done all this work and nothing's moving forward. Now, that might not be the exact case for you. It just may be that you're just waiting for something to give. You know, what's the name of that movie? Something's got to give. So that right there could be something that is going on with you anywhere in your life. So you'll know what that is for you. And Also, the things that they're bringing up for me right now to share with you is to also look around at where you might be a little too cautious with the way you spend your time and energy and your money, or you might be too frivolous with it. So what do you think? What comes to mind first? Do you feel like you should be making cutbacks, or do you feel like you're being too frugal? The example they always show me when I get this card, if the situation is you're not investing enough in yourself, a lot of times it's because you're giving your energy away to something else too often. So with a lot of light workers, and by the way, you are a light worker because you're here listening to this video. You don't have to call yourself that, but you were called to listen to these messages for a while. You were born with intuitive divine gifts, and you can use them. You probably are already using them without even being aware of it, but you can take them to a new level. And a lot of times the light workers that I contact, they give away too much of their time and energy to others, and they don't spend enough time taking care of their own body, their own home, their own self, and then they end up getting burned out. Another example might be that maybe, you're that recently retired grandparent, and all of a sudden there's all these phone calls for you to babysit all the time or take the kids here or there, and you're going, but I just was really looking forward to having a few days in a row to just get out in my garden or to start that painting project or take these classes that I've always wanted to take. So maybe you are giving your energy away, and all you have to do is just have those heart-to-heart conversations, create a schedule, put boundaries around it, and say, yeah, of course I'm willing to help with the grandkids, but let's pick a day and we'll adjust as necessary, or let's pick an amount of time so that I know I'm going to have that time for myself. That's another thing we do is we give away too much of our energy and time, and then all of a sudden we're run down and we're burned out. Now, one of the things they want you to see, and this is so affirming it right now, one of the things they're talking about too is that you have been giving away a lot of your time, effort. You've been donating to things. You've been looking for new opportunities. Maybe you've been paying off debts. You've been really working to bring balance to your financial resources. But again, look to see where maybe you have overcommitted a little bit. Maybe you've told everybody, if you've really wanted to show up for a lot of people in your life, and now you're starting to realize, oh goodness, I overcommitted here. Because one of the things that's going on for you right now at the time you are hearing these messages is that you might be experiencing either sleepless nights, or you might be catching yourself expecting the worst. So the example would be, hey, I've got to call my boss up and let them know I do not have time to take on that other project. I do have these other things going on in my life. I can't work those extra hours. And you're expecting your boss to fly off the handle and fire you or give the project a promotion to somebody else. That's just one example there. You might be retired. It might be a family member, whatever it is for you, but just try not to get stuck in expecting the worst. This is where the guidance comes in, that if you will sit down and write out the things you need to say to somebody, or write out the things that would help you work through this, you will see a clear way through that will allow you to figure out how to deal with this without it turning into such an anxious energy. This is why I always encourage journaling, sometimes just writing down all the things that need to happen before you can have that time to yourself, all the things that you want to say in a conversation before you have the conversation. Those things can be really helpful. And then, of course, it's so important to ask your spiritual team to help you find the right time to have that conversation, help you find the right words to have that conversation. So you will find those things as long as you make that effort there to think things through clearly and don't allow your mind to take over. If you're waking up in the middle of the night worrying about all the things you have to do or all the things you have to say, go ahead and get out of bed and go write them down, or keep that journal by your bedside to just jot it down. It is such a relief. Sometimes even just knowing the journal is there for me to do that in case it happens, I don't even wake up. I wake up the next morning refreshed and I remember exactly what I need to write down. So get in the habit of doing that. Do things to nurture yourself. Now, one of the things that is also coming up for you is a need to be confident in yourself if you do have to leave a situation behind. Maybe you committed to that volunteer job or that social event that is just taking too much time and you're feeling trapped in it. You're going, oh man, I said I would do this and I just don't know what they're going to say if I say I back out. Who are they going to get if I don't do it? I know that's resonating with somebody right now. You're feeling like nobody else can do what you're doing. Well, ask for somebody to come in your place. This is where I will say to my guides, can you help someone show up in my life who can take this off my plate and do a great job equal or better so that I have this time to do these other things. That can be so powerful there. Yes, you may have to have patience. Maybe you have already started calling someone in to take your place with something and they haven't shown up yet, but this is why they said seeds are well planted. Keep going. Maybe you're looking for that to finally meet that ideal romantic partner and you're going, I've done all this work on myself. I've changed things in my life. I've opened up space in my schedule and they're not showing up. Keep going. Get out there and have fun. Go join that group of social activities. Maybe you always wanted to take up tennis or hiking. Get out there and find a group to do it. That's going to help you, again, being playful and being patient to call in these people or things that you're wanting to move forward. Now, you're going to get a lot of personal power when you bring balance to these resources. So I have another pocket affirmation for you to write in the comments below. I encourage you to write them right now below this video. I wisely use my material resources. I wisely use my material resources. So material resources, we're usually talking about money, but this could be supplies. You have something. It can be time, your time, because money is energy and time is energy. But I feel like they're really talking about something in your life where you're feeling limited with your material resources, and they want you to really have the confidence to trust that you will make the best decision. You will move out of that state of lack. If you stay in a sense of lack, like I only have this amount of dollars to do this project, or I only have this amount of budget to get this project completed, that's going to keep you in that anxiety, that self-fulfilling prophecy, and they want you to really trust that if you call in the resources necessary, they will show up for you. So one of the things that they're wanting you to do going forward is to look around to those around you who are also willing to not only stand their ground and defend the path they're on, but they're also willing to choose their battles wisely. So this could be somebody who could help you figure it out. Okay, we only have X amount of dollars to make this event happen. Let's work together to maximize those dollars. Let's be wise. Do we really need these things? Yes, this other person says they're wanting this, but do we want to fight them on that? Or do we want to say, no, we're just going to let them have that so we can move forward with the project? So you will know what this is for you. It doesn't always mean projects. It can be relationships. It can be, a family member asking you to do something. So you think that through carefully. And that's going to really help you going forward with figuring out, okay, where do I need to add this playtime? And where might I be getting caught up in this self-fulfilling prophecy, worrying too much about something? One of the big things the angels want you to focus on right now is that you are going to bring contentment and peace into your life if that's the energy you are focusing on right now. So they're just continuing to harp on the fact that if we're allowing our mind to run away with anxious thoughts and expecting the worst, then that is going to block us from getting to where we want to go. Maybe you're trying to finally complete a project. Maybe you're trying to finally just feel like everything is peaceful at home, but your mind is racing about all the things that you don't have or all the things that you need to do for that to happen. And that is creating that place of lack. So I know this is a bit of a repetitive one, but it feels like we're all really needing to hear this right now. The key is to do things that make you feel at peace. Do things that make you feel abundant, and that will draw in the help you need, the resources you need. It will help you figure out, where do I need to earmark things in my budget, in my time, in the way I spend my energy, so that I can attract the things that I want in my life. And they do see the way that you really want to just let go of some things from your past. In fact, what they're saying is, if you really focus on where you're going in the future, it's going to help you with releasing these past heartbreaks where maybe you've been romanticizing the past. Maybe you've been wishing things used to be a certain way. Maybe you've been reflecting back on an early part of a relationship, or even when you were a child, and you've been going, oh man, it wasn't that so great when I had all that time to do that, or I had that person in my life who always did this for me. But there's heartbreak there too, and we are being asked to move on for that. So if we can release romanticizing the past and focus on where we want to go, that's going to really help us move forward. So one more pocket affirmation for you before we wrap up with the final piece of guidance from the angels today. I easily release what no longer serves me. I easily release what no longer serves me. Put that in the comments below this video. It is so helpful to use. And that's that final piece of message we have here from the angels today for you at the time you're hearing this video is look to the lunar cycles. Look to the new moon. Look to the full moon. Where can you bring something into your life for the new moon, and where can you release something with the full moon? And that will be so powerful too. So if there's anything that's just too much of a burden on you, there's something causing too much stress, or it's keeping you from doing the things that you want to do, remember that first affirmation we had today was, I deserve playtime in my life. Sometimes we get really hard on ourselves and we tell ourselves we don't deserve playtime. We have too much laundry to do. We made all these commitments. We need to get to the gym for 2 hours. We all do these things to ourselves. We put these shoulds on ourselves. And the angels are saying, no, you need to focus on where you're going and what you want, and then take that more playful approach. Thank you for being here. And remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.